Well, I didn't know you loved me so much.
We're gonna wait for the red line.
No. I keep hitting that stupid thing. We're live. You know, we were still live last time.
Hey, Evil the Gamer, and you're watching One Side of the Coin. We're down here at Heads or Tails Gaming. And with me, as always, is
Mack-Attack.
And one of my all-time favorite person in the entire world, the legendary JC. Say hi, JC.
I didn't know you could do that much, kissing of things I can't say on stream.
Yeah, you can say what you want. It's one side of the coin, right? It's your opinion.
Well, there's a line. We all...
Yeah, a small line, I guess. No. Yeah, JC is really great friend of mine. He works alongside the team at Haunted Castle Games, who gave us this great game, Genesis Battle of Champions, which we discuss every Thursday night on our live stream. So,
Hello again.
Hello again. Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, JC and I go back, almost going on 10 years now?
Probably something like that.
Somewhere around 10 years, right? So, I mean, yeah. So I think you were just starting out learning how to play Pokemon at the time when I first met him. So you're looking about 5-6 years old.
I thought I started learning how to play when I was like 8.
No, you were a little bit younger. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's been quite a long time, right? For our friendship. So speaking of friendship, before we get into the topic tonight, JC, great friend. Like, this guy calls me all the time randomly throughout the week. We have discussions, keeps me entertained for the most part. I mean, yeah. So I mean, sometimes it gets really quiet with the lockdowns that are occurring. And yeah, it's always good to have a really good friend that you can count on to keep you company, right? So, I mean, give a call or a message to any really good friend that you have in your life that's, as great of a friend as JC is to me. Say hi to him. Say thank you for being a really good friend. So, a couple other quick shout outs. Yes, again, to all the great designers and the team at Haunted Castle Gaming, which he's one of them, for giving us this great game that we love to play all the time and have discussions about. One other quick shout out that I would like to give today is to a music producer. Yes, so her name is Somniac1. She is a DJ and a music producer. So I recently introduced my daughter to EDM. Now, no, EDM music, if you don't know what that stands for, electronic dance music. If you're into any kind of like techno, hardcore, house, trance, any kind of music, I'm a huge fan of it. I love it. We recently discovered this DJ, fell in love with her music. And when Mack-Attack here had saw some of her videos and heard some of her music, she actually inspired my daughter to want to travel down that road on learning how to become a DJ and producing her own music. So I want to give her a huge shout out to Somniac1. If you haven't had a chance, check her out on YouTube. She's also on Facebook. If you're into that style of music, which we are, she has a very hard techno sound to her. Absolutely amazing. I love her music. So yeah,
for anyone
who
want
to say hi,
doesn't have Facebook, she does have an Instagram as well. So Instagram works too.
Yeah, right.
I follow her on Instagram.
Follow her on Instagram
as
well. Yeah. So yeah, other announcements.
Why don't we talk about the lockdown still first?
Right? Lockdown. Yeah, that's what I was just about to get into. Yeah. So the Ontario government announced today, so they've extended and we will be allowed to have people in-store play again at 50% capacity come January 31st. So I don't understand the reason why behind the extension. But, hey, rules are rules, right?
As I think said on this program before, I know it's been said on the Haunted Castle ones, you know what? Just respect the rules of your local health integration network and that, your public health service and that. And I always like to say, respect what the store owners do as well. If they want to go a step above what is being mandated by the government and that's within means and reason, then please respect them because they are our frontliners for our games and hobbies. So
yeah. I miss having people come in and play, especially like my Genesis, my Commander communities, or Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like,
we'll all get back soon enough. Don't worry.
Soon enough. Yeah, I know it gets depressing at times, very lonely, quiet. Just being open for retail, even then it's,
well, as you said, call a friend. Nature, they're doing
call a
okay.
friend. That's right. Exactly.
Nature, they're
right?
doing
So-
okay. And you know what? There is lots of options out there for people to learn how to play online. If you have a webcam like we're on right now,
Yep.
there's a lot of games. Even Genesis technically can be played over webcam. It just takes a lot of creativity in that, some solid hard work. I know the company over WizKids HeroClix actually does have a whole setup now for a play-at-home kit with a map, with all the where everything is. So yeah, you could do something very similar with Genesis. Have it there, follow your opponent's movements, and yeah, you can play Genesis on your camera. So,
Yeah, I know. There's been a few people that are tackled that, gone down that road.
it's
Like I know there's TTS, right? Like
there's always
tabletop
TTS.
Always TTS. I'm not a fan personally, but I guess a lot of people are. If you're interested into it, you can join in on TTS to play Genesis.
I'll tell you, my
Jake-
favorite button on TTS is the flip the table button.
Oh
Flip.
my God.
Flip. Can you,
Flip
can
the
you actually?
You can actually flip the table, so don't worry. That's my
Wow.
favorite button on
Oh
the
my
entire
God.
TTS.
So what do you think about it? TTS.
What do I think about it?
Yeah. Like,
So
what's your grand opinion on it?
my grand opinion is for a testing environment, it's really hard for testing sometimes to get done in that in forms. You'll probably remember when we were testing back during the original Jail era, actually, when
Mhm.
Jail era was going to release. My testing was printing out cards. We actually had a draft before the set even officially released. You know?
So instead of testing on like TTS, you guys would like
You'd
test
probably
with, like, the
have
printouts?
you'd have printouts or something like that. TTS makes it a little easier because doesn't take a lot of effort to update a card or put a card onto there
Mhm.
and start doing whatever you need it to do. It's visually appealing as well when you actually see what something is.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of people play on TTS. It's just the way that it runs and operates is. I know you showed me how to build timelines on TTS. Never really got into the actual playing aspect of it. I'm not a video gamer or one to like sitting at a computer and playing the games. I rather the actual physical cards in front of me to play and battle against an opponent across from me. So,
I love my computer. I fell in love with Age of
Yeah,
Empires too. Again, it's great
today's
murdering
day and
people
age,
online.
You're a lot younger than me, even though you don't look it.
So what are our topics today? You brought me in for topics, so what
yeah,
are we
yeah,
talking?
we're gonna get to the topic.
We're gonna get to the topic.
eventually.
Do we have any more shoutouts?
I don't know. Do you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi.
Okay, you just
Send
said
me
hi to
questions in
everybody.
the chat. I'll answer them for you.
Yes, participate in the
Yeah.
chat. You have any questions for us in regards to anything Genesis? Shoot us a message in the chat. Did you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi,
Mom.
well, I don't know if my mom's watching this, but
how about
Cam,
Reed?
Cam might be.
How about Reed? You want to say hi to Reed?
Oh no,
Hi, Reed.
Hi, Reed.
Your friend Reed.
Hi, Reed.
Cam, yeah, Cam's at
Yeah,
home. Our son,
yeah.
my son, her brother from another father, I guess.
Sure,
I
we'll
don't
call
know.
it something like that.
We'll call it something like that. Okay, yeah, but
Shout out to Colin and Richard who aren't here, but thanks for all your help and support through all this.
Oh, yeah.
we
They're
do
still-
well,
they're
really,
still-
really
they're still alive?
appreciate it.
they are still
They're
alive.
still
Making
alive.
sure.
They are still
Oh my
alive.
gosh, I thought I missed a funeral.
They haven't been out in a couple of weeks, mostly because of the lockdowns and the restrictions. So we do really miss our tech guys. Actually, Richard was in the store the other day with his girlfriend, I guess.
I missed them. Jeez.
Yeah, you missed them to say hello, and that dropped in, which was really nice to see them. I think Colin will be coming out. So yeah, an announcement to make: 2 champions and a stack of cards. We'll be returning this Sunday, probably I think around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So when you're getting up Sunday morning, having your coffee, tune in and check out 2 champions and a stack of cards. Sid, the 2021. Yeah, I forget what year it is. 2021 champion versus myself, the 2019 champion. We've given each other some challenges on timeline builds, and we're going to battle them out and have a discussion. Yeah.
So, if I may ask, what's the challenge on this one? Just so we can give people a quick preview of what we're looking
So he gave me the challenge to build a timeline based around No Man's Land, and the challenge I gave him was elemental dominance.
at. So, should I give you the hug now for the No Man's Land or after the fact?
I'll probably cry through the entire battle. It's
Sounds like it.
yeah. So I
I'll
think
take the elemental dominance any day of the week.
yeah, I think he's got an easy build on this one. It's not that difficult of a card to build around. However, No Man's Land is definitely a challenge. I still don't even like we've extended when we were going to film this. for so long, and I still have fully ready. I have a good idea what I'm going to put in it and how I'm going to operate it, but we'll see how it works out. Right. So be sure tune in on Sunday to check that out. Topic for tonight: action versus swift attacks on summons.
On summons,
And how they interact with the metagame, so or competitive play. Now, for those of you who don't know or don't really have an understanding, so action speed is slow speed compared to a swift speed, which is faster. So swifts can be used in response, whereas actions can only be played on the main phase, on your turn only. So,
well, that's correct. On whatever is taking the turn, it's them that can take.
Yeah. So for summon specifically, so they summon that has action speed attack would not be able to move twice and attack.
No.
So they can only have that one single movement. So it'd be one advanced square with a 90-degree rotation, and then they'd be able to attack. If they do any secondary move after that, then
secondary move or take another rotation after that, or take that additional rotation as well.
So they would not be able to. Whereas with the swift speed, it's a lot quicker. Can be done in response. Can be done after second move. Makes it a lot quicker. So, how do you see summons with action speed effective and to be fast for the current metagame?
So when it comes to swift versus action on a summon, it's going to come down to the actual cost of the summon, that whether it's your aura, energy, whatever you're paying to play them. That's where you're going to want to start looking at it. So me and Sid have actually had this debate a few times where swift versus action, and why do we have action on summons or whatnot? It comes down to a costing. So a swift summon with a 1/1 swift versus a 1/1 action, the 1/1 action speed is going to be a little bit less than that 1/1 swift. What does that mean over the period of the game is that you're going to have more resources to use when you get into your end game over someone who is using swifts. The only difference is that the swifts can be a little more aggressive, get into better positions where you're going to have to work to get your summons into position, either by getting your champion up there and getting into that tactical position, or moving them very specifically to get into position so that they're not killed beforehand.
Well, that's the whole, I think, challenge behind the action speed summons. The fact that they can't respond if you put one on the field, and I've seen it in many instances where you're able to get one of these, you cast it out, and it's dead before you even get to use it because there's no response, especially if you're further away from your opponent. So now you got to work it up to get within firing range, so to speak, or attack range, or in a position to be able to attack. By the time it gets there, it's probably either already dead, or it's going to take a ton of damage and not be as effective anymore. So basically, more or less, the way that I perceive it is that those specific summons are more better. I don't know how to talk. Are more effective up front. Up close. You have to be up close more or less to use them. So let's break it down a little bit on specific ones. So like I know Galata Baboon, the baboon, right?
Yeah.
We do see it a lot in the meta game because of it's secondary. It has blitz. Exactly, right? So the blitz is what makes it so appealing. However, it's got the 3 health, only attacks at action speed. You have to be up close, but because of that secondary blitzability makes it potential in the metagame. Now, we've seen a lot of blitz decks dominate over top of others, okay? But you look at some of the other summons. So you got the Enraged Gorilla.
Yep.
Okay, so again, it's 5 damage? 5 health.
Remember for Enraged Gorilla, though, what is one way you use that limb on the Swift? You kind of rotate to the side and you move up so that you have that better awareness, perhaps.
Yep.
Why not use Enraged Gorilla the same way? Because you do have that full front awareness there on it. And I think people maybe with the Enraged Gorilla look too much as moving it forward, facing their opponent, rather than kind of having them sidestep over instead.
But it's the secondary, though. So if the Enraged did not have that awareness, nor did it have the counter on it, would it actually work? Probably not.
Be significantly cheaper. So we take away counterattack, we take away that front awareness, give him a front, put him at the same stats. He's probably coming in at probably 9 or 10 aura out of 7 chi at that point.
There's no action speed summon that can deal with a decently played Scorpion.
Scorpion's heavily undercosted. You gotta remember, Scorpion is it pre-alpha? No, Scorpion's not pre-alpha, is he?
Yep.
He's pre-alpha?
Yep.
So he's not actually on the formula chain there. If we were actually putting his full awareness into the formula, he could probably come in a little higher, especially being that 6 chi and swinging for 3 damage with that ranged attack as well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a harder comparison to do to that point, but it also depends what colors you're in as well.
Yeah.
Because isn't action speed always going to win you? No. But there is good action speed out there. A good example is probably one of Will's favorite. Cattail Tiger is nothing special, but it has a 4 HP on that 5 chi, and it will survive a shot, and it can get up there to hit damage. And it comes in at like 9 aura.
Well, so can Enraged, right? It can survive a couple of hits before it's actually gone, right? So, but I mean, you look at the current, like say the Kun AOE, right? That could just dominate it. Necro Swarms, those style of timelines, they operate so quick and so fast, right? Or even the other Blitz. I don't think it has the ability to survive long enough for it to be effective in the meta game.
Now, I'd rather counter that, because if I'm now playing cheaper for my summons, I now have a bit more aura there to play maybe more support cards. And as a Kun AOE is maybe taking that time to spend that aura, because Kun only has, 100 aura roughly?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. Sorry, I can't remember stuff off the top of my head. But
he's a card designer. Well, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's not even my champion. So I can say not even my champion. But if Kun's using those AOEs to be more expensive than that, if you're putting out those lower cost actions than that to try to pose a threat, and they actually start targeting those with you, you now have a bit more room to actually play your support spells or your other summons to get out there.
Yeah.
And that's maybe where the big difference would be on the attack or the action speed versus the Swift, is simply that you're going to have a bit more aura at the end of the day to play that last threat out and potentially get your opponent into a bad situation.
Going back to the Cattail, though, I don't think we see too many of the main meta decks running it. I mean, in a draft or a sealed event or something like that.
It's an all-star.
It is. Yeah. It's definitely a decent card to put in as a filler.
Not just a filler. You're looking at 4 health, 3 damage action speed, out of 5 chi,
speed, though, right?
at action speed, at 9 aura.
Yeah.
It's going to survive a shot and be able to go in and take something out. Your average health is 3. Your average damage is 3.
Yeah.
The Cattail will survive a shot and be able to go back in and hit something. And after that point, if it kills one thing, it's paid for itself.
Look
if
at the
it
strategy.
hits something else, it actually
look at the
starts
strategy of the game, though. So, like, I know if I'm facing against somebody that's using like a ton of stuff like that's action speed, you're going to keep that distance from them. So that way, it's not going to be able to get in close enough that it can just do that one single move, hit you, right? So you're going to actually stay a decent amount of space from it, right? So that way, it's forcing them to move up, waste their turn because they can't do the attack, and then you get in there, do some damage, right? And if they try to attack you, you can evade out of it, right? Especially if you don't want to take 3 damage, you said. I mean, and even taking 3 damage one turn is not that big of an issue, and then you just destroy it the next round.
If it connects, though, it's already paid for itself.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. That connection pays for the summon at that point. If it hits one more time on something, it's now giving you back. And that's how it has to be looked at in that sense.
In that sense, yeah.
Now, if you're worried about action speed being, not fast enough, then maybe you should be relooking at card pools. You got Malicious Persuasion in Chaos, which you can move something.
Yes.
You have Wrist Throw in Anja, where you could move something to another position as well.
Yeah.
So those are the types of cards you'll have to maybe looking at to support those cheaper aura summons to get in for that action speed damage.
Everybody saying?
I'm just waiting for someone to fight me on this.
No.
Let's do this. Let's do this. But that's my opinion. I want to know where you are on this.
I have a tendency to stay like I know I play the Enraged a bit. However, and I dabbled with the Blitz. I'm just not a huge fan of the action speed summons for the metagame when it comes to competitive play, right? So it's like I want to get in there, have my summons be able to respond if they're going to take a hit, or be able to move a lot faster and still be able to hit and not have to worry about the slow game. So although there is one specific summon that I haven't really used in a long time, probably by far one of my favorite action, like slow speed summons, Guardian of Balance. Right? So it's the effectiveness of that secondary, right? Ability that it has. So when Guardian of Balance enters the battlefield, no more damage can be done once the day of peace goes off, right? So you have a chance to respond to the day of peace to get any damage done prior to the day of peace going off. But once it's done, right? And there's no more damage can be done. 5 health, 5 damage,
Front awareness.
Yeah, straight across. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Right?
I
So
think
again, it's like the Enraged Gorilla. However, it doesn't have that counter that the Enraged does. And I do believe the cost is just.
I think it's about 17 or 18 for Guardian of Balance.
Somewhere
it's within
there,
the same marketplace.
Yeah. Cattail temporal relocation meta.
I'm going to be honest. Temporal relocation. Now I'm paying a lot of money into getting that thing out. I would rather use the temporal to send something big over rather than the cattail.
Yeah. Well,
but if you want to make that a meme, you're more than welcome to. I will quite enjoy it.
Yeah, cattail temporal. Temporal relocation alone, again, it goes alongside the, like you were saying, wrist throw or malicious persuasion.
And maybe that's where we need to support more of action.
Yeah.
Or you give the action more of those abilities entering the arena, or something that really gives it value.
Yeah.
Over their swift counterparts. Because Guardian Balance is still a great card. It's a fog for a turn.
Yeah.
Once it goes off, your opponent can't get in and do damage. You are protected for that round, and your summons are as well.
Yep.
So it's definitely something, and you could use that extra. You could use that one round to start getting position to where you need to be.
Very true. Very true. Yep.
So, yeah, definitely one of the better ones out there.
I think, but then using a lot of those spells, though, you're gobbling up a lot of resources as well to make them effective, right? So, I mean, in the long run, you're wasting resources to support a slower base timeline using action, right? So
when if you're going into risk, though, you're going into malicious persuasion, you're now taking that aura and using energy instead. So you're not burning that as quickly, and with energy, you can get that energy reduction as well on your champion. So,
well, depending on which champion you're using, right? Which it always boils down to that as well. So
absolutely.
But yeah, no, I still don't think we'll see too much of it.
I would maybe in the future, as the game develops further and further, the costing goes and changes more and more and more. You might see action speed or action attack summons actually come down a bit more in price, though, too. Because right now there's enough to say it's worth it, but not to where you're going to be rewarded for, having oodles and oodles of aura at the end of the game.
Yeah. So I mean, the majority of the higher chi summons that are at action speed do cost a considerable amount.
But they usually have, like, I know in Rages and like counterattack is hard to get off, but
yeah,
there is ways to get counterattack off. It's just being very creative of how to do it.
Yeah, might see that on Sunday.
Oh baby, I love stuff like that.
We have a comment from Grandma Brand Hot Dog.
Grandma Brand Hot Dogs. That's our boy Sid, the 2021 champion. What's he saying?
Took you a second. Might have preferred to have action speed attacks to be the baseline with Swifts as the
deviation rather than the inverse, but that might have made the game too slow.
I tried.
So having your action speeds as your baseline of how everything is, then having your Swifts be, the caveats or something like that, or something being like that manner.
Well, and that's could be it, and I think that's why the baboon has excelled, right? Because
It has blitz.
It has well, it's because it operates really well in the blitz stack, right? So, and basically, you're just jumping up, leaping up, whichever, getting up really close, dropping all those blitzes, and then they do their attack on the same turn. So, the fact that it's cheap, doesn't cost a lot, right? It does 3 damage at action speed.
Yeah.
The thing is, was it 9 aura to play it, right? Like the thing is absolutely amazing, right? So out of all the action speed summons, I think that one excels over all the others just because of the fact that it has the blitz.
Now, for our action speed brethren here who are fighting to survive in this battle, do we, as we said before with Guardian Balance, do we give them better abilities? Do we give them better awarenesses? Because I know even in looking at techniques now that I would like to take into action speed, my caveat would be to make them, have a really good effect and a very good range of effect at the end of the day, rather than it does like one thing and that's it.
Yeah, but you start increasing the power level of those summons, so then you're looking at increase of costs on top of it, or chi, right? So
absolutely, and at that point it comes down to would you rather pay at the Swift speed, let's say, what's a good example? Primordial Force, let's say. Let's take him down to action speed. Speed. He might go down to 30 aura. Would you rather pay 30 aura but still have that superior awareness?
Doesn't he cost 30 already?
He's 35.
35, yeah.
Yeah, he's 35. But would you rather pay maybe 30 or 29 at the action speed over the 35 and have that 6 aura for somewhere else? In Idris Monsters, that's her leading up to an additional fireball over time.
Yeah.
So that's where I look at the numbers, is if you can get them out, have them pose as a threat, your opponent now uses their own resources to get rid of them. If you can get ahead on resources that way, you might have a chance to take the game somewhere. Or it might be you dropping in your last summon that does have a Swift to get quick damage in at the end.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Primordial, it's, yeah. I think back the time of Alpha Beta, right? Primordial decks were like few and far between because of its cost, right? Though
I think it was because of Angels.
Well,
you had an Angel, and Angel took the board very quickly.
Yeah, well, we didn't see Angels until Beta when they became more available
yes.
At that point in time. But I mean,
yeah, because Alpha, I messed that up.
Sorry,
Angels are really hard to pull in Alpha because
there's very few, but
are they still marked as a rare?
Yeah.
Well,
they were epics in
They're
Alpha.
epics.
They were epics in Alpha, but in
Oh,
Beta,
that's why.
Beta was
Yeah,
a rare.
now they're rare. Okay.
I don't think I ever
figured
pulled
they
an
got
Alpha
marked down.
Angel. I know I pulled like 3 Primordials.
I did.
Yeah.
I had 3 Primordials, but like
Primordials,
Wasn't it, like,
quite a few too.
One of the first packs I ever opened.
Yeah.
And then you took it from me and you ran.
Yeah.
Steve-O did that with even Giant Scorpions with me. He's like, hey, look, I got Charlie Scorpion. It's mine.
Thank you, it's mine.
Yeah,
right.
it runs.
So
Only time I ever see him run.
Shockwave saying if a summon doesn't have Swift and only action speed, good chances
If they
they are low HP. They never survive to take a swing and do anything.
If they're too
Just
low,
wasting aura to summon creatures you can't use. Well, I was kind of touching base on that before. It's like, basically you're summoning them. You're trying to get them up to where they need to be to do that attack. Takes and they can't move that fast. Right?
Yes.
So, in order to hit.
So it's why I say Cattail still actually relatively decent at that 4 HP threshold at a 5 chi. It's going to take an extra hit usually to take it out.
Yeah.
So if you're paying 9 aura and your opponent's turn around and wasting an extra turn or aura to get rid of that, or even energy, you're now slowly gaining on resources over them.
Kev C saying, hey, good morning, guys. It's evening here for us. But wherever you are, good morning to you as well.
Good morning. So,
Morning.
I don't know, somewhere like Hawaii, maybe? I think they're that far behind.
Maybe
Or unless you're somewhere over within the Asia Pacific or Australia.
Australia. Could be Australia. Yeah. I
Where are
think
you
so.
from?
Where are you from, Kev C? I'm pretty sure he is from. He's from Australia. I think so. Cool. Awesome. But anyway, hi, Kev.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Australia.
Grab your coffee. Watch for the giant crickets there.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
But
My coffee, my Necro cup. Brandon didn't bring it on stream with me tonight.
So yeah, it comes down to costing what you want to do with your dollars at the end of the day in the game of Genesis.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
If you can get your opponent to waste more resources than what you put into that summon still can get a hit. It's now paid for, and your opponent's now using their own.
how they would work in numbers though too, right? So I mean, like going back to Enraged, it's having multiples of Enraged, where because of its amazing awareness and where it sits, having 3 or 4 of those on the battlefield, although probably not having much as far as aura left after doing that.
Certainly not.
They could still be very effective, right? Like a whole army of them. But
And then again, at range, we were looking at the counterattack with it has to be still in the awareness to go off.
Yep.
Counterattack again. Enraged is enraged is not J, is it? No, raised J.
Jay, yeah.
J. So
Yeah, I
again,
think
we're
it's
still
J.
in that whole costing formula. Like Enraged Gorilla now might actually cost a little less than what he is actually, because
Mhm.
things are starting to change the game. There is that whole better costing system that things are always developing in the game. The
Yeah.
game's still very young, so I have hope for action where it's going to be, if I have an action summon over a swift summon, I should be at like 30% less cost, or maybe a little more, at taking that risk over someone who wants to swift.
Mm-hmm. So you think we'll see a lot more? I know you can't give us secrets or spoil anything.
Reveal too much.
Do you see a lot more action speed summons being created for the future?
I love them because I can create them at a cheaper cost at the end of the day. So if I can create a great summon that might cost you 30 aura, but I can give it to you for 25 or 24, I'll consider it. Because at the end of the day, a player should be able to play the game as they wish.
So
Are there 30 aura cards?
So Primordial is 35.
35. Yeah.
Lightless is 27. Lightness at one point was like 33, I think. And then after some tweaking of
29,
formulation,
isn't
it's either 27 or 29. It's one of the two.
Somewhere around there, yeah. It's a
And
very
after
high.
some tweaking, Billy can actually look it up for us and he can correct us in that or tell us who's right. But yeah, Lightless at one point was at a higher cost. Mind you, it was still pretty good at the time, but
Well,
with
Lightless
some-
is amazing. It does have its downfalls of being HE. It is very high in cost, but
it will always exchange on an angel any day.
Yeah,
of the
it'll
week.
What's
go ahead.
Zamberg at? The dragon?
Zamberg's 8.
8?
Yeah.
The big giant
Dragon?
dragon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 8.
it's an HE.
I thought that was way higher.
No, we don't go past
We
HE.
don't pass 8.
No,
Wow,
no,
do I
sorry.
gotta
Sorry, I
put
meant
both of you
aura.
through?
Aura,
No, I meant
aura.
aura.
Yeah.
Zamberg's
no.
30.
It's 30.
Okay, yeah, I was. Oh, sorry.
29?
29. That's what I thought. Yeah. I gotta put both these. Last week I put you through a quiz on Genesis, and I go, yeah, you as well. We're all a little rusty. We haven't played in a long time. I guess maybe that's what it is.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Lightless at one
exactly.
point was, I think, up to like 33. I'm sure if Lightless had an action speed attack, you'd probably get that down to 25, 24, 23.
Yeah.
And then,
But
yeah,
then I wouldn't be able to go head to head against an angel, right? So
it could still charge in on an angel for one square and still hit.
in hit,
Square
yeah.
up
And-
and go.
And it would still do
Providing
a-
you're flanking it and it's not exerted, right? Or it is exerted, but I mean,
even if it's not exerted, if you can just have to move up one and hit it, let's go. It has attack resistance all day long. Let's
oh
do
yeah,
this.
that's right. The angel wouldn't kill it on,
Angel still
on one
won't kill
swing.
it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But if we could give you Lightless right now, and everybody out there can answer as well, if Lightless was action speed, and let's say it brought it down to 22, 21 aura, maybe, with being at action speed, is it still playable? Would you play it? Would you play it would you play it differently? Because
Yeah, definitely
What's
play it
his
differently.
attack? Does he have it? Yeah,
he has a range attack of
6 damage,
6
ranged
damage,
attack, 1 forward awareness, and it's ranged. So yeah,
It hits the angel. It has 6 health and it has attack resistance.
An
So
action?
the attack, yeah, but it does have the attack resistance, so anything that's hitting it is reduced by 1. So
Yeah,
you're-
that. Again, no, personally, I don't think I'd ever play that as an action. I feel like it's good as a Swift.
But
good
then,
as it is.
then if we start going to
yeah, but
everything
the
being-
cost was a lot cheaper, is what he's asking.
Yeah, if
so
I
Well,
brought-
the
if I give-
cost
if
was
I give you this at
cheaper and you
21
put it
aura,
as an action.
go lower.
if I give you that like 21 aura for the same thing at action speed,
So lower the cost, but it would have to be an action instead
Yeah.
of a Swift.
But it would still have all the
That's a
same
good
other abilities.
same
right?
all the same other abilities.
Same health, same damage.
The
Same,
difference is though, after you cast so many though, you will still you'll have more aura. You won't be.
Yeah.
You would trade with an angel. You take out 25 aura angel, and your 21 aura action speed lightless would still be standing there in a head-to-head.
With one health remaining.
With one health
Yeah,
remaining.
yeah.
One health remaining.
One singular help.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Is it worth it to go down to action speed?
Yeah. That's where you got to start looking at it. And the other thing you got to look at as well is that players are smart. Players will find, like, yeah, do we love swifting out everything? Yes. But let players battle how they want on it as well. If a player wants to play a cheaper
the strategy of the game
let
determines
them.
it a lot, right? So how you play it, where you're summoning it, how you're moving it, your movement on the battlefield, right? I mean,
absolutely.
It's always I'm kicking the
Yeah,
cord.
I know. I was kicking
sorry.
him too. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
We do have
Technical
some-
difficulty.
Sorry. We do have some comments.
Comment?
So
we got?
some of the action speed summons could get more play with the Hive Mind champion if they're able to Oten or evade.
So we're talking about Brain, actually, which is in Future League. I wouldn't look at that exactly now, but it is something that you would have to consider because they could play things through Brain. If you're not part of Future League, this is more of a Future League-ish question.
Off topic, but are you planning to add more characters to the game, or do you feel there's enough already? Someone did reply coming to Origins, so yeah, there are a lot more champions coming to the new set that's coming out soon.
Yeah,
I even get to make a champion. Huzzah! I get a champion
for
not for Origins, but I get
but
for
for
the next one.
Invasion.
I get to make a
Invasion,
champion.
yeah.
Wow!
Nice.
That must be exciting.
What affiliations?
Come on, tell us.
I'll give away one secret. It is Thymos Axon.
Ooh.
So Steveo can hate me now.
Thymos Axon.
Red blue. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
It's red, blue.
Red blue.
Red blue, yeah. Which I'm anticipating and so excited for Origins.
Not my green.
But yeah, you can have your phage. I don't care.
All
I
I'll
really
give.
don't care.
I'll-
yeah.
I'll-
Throw that
I'll
at
give.
me like there's no
Thymo,
tomorrow.
yeah, I get chills just thinking about Thymos Axon. Oh my god.
She's going to be the love of my life for a while, though. So it is a she. But
Yeah,
she'll be the love of my life
Like,
for a while.
we already know Kato, right? Like I'm so excited for Kato.
Is it Tashir? That's the archer. I can't remember names. I remember the old Future League names.
Yeah.
That was Paris. That's my favorite.
Okay.
But this is us getting off topic. So
Well, yeah, a little bit.
what other comments you got?
Strong resistance. Without needing to worry as much. Yeah. A cool card would be an alteration that shows all beckons with swifts.
To action.
Oh, to slow all beckons with swift to action speed.
So I think you and I have had this conversation before.
Right. We
How
have
about
had
that?
this.
We have had this conversation. I think
to
I've
be able to have the ability, like have a champion or whatever, or a spell or technique or something like that, that would change.
I
the
think I had
speed
it
of
as
the
a
game.
spell.
As a spell.
I think I had it as a spell. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've had this discussion. I remember it. Because there's times where, besides working with the Future League group, there's times where I'll just sit there and start jotting down ideas on a list.
So
And this has happened.
you're-
I have put this idea
yeah,
down. on a
I
list.
know. I gave it more thought afterwards. It's like, yeah, you're more or less creating another dense fog, right? It like just slows the game right down, messes everything up on the battlefield. Total chaos, anarchy.
But
everywhere,
there's
right?
nothing
Like
wrong
Cats and dogs living together again.
What's wrong with cats and dogs living together?
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with having something to change the tempo of the game or throw someone's tempo off.
Right.
It's all part of gaming on its own.
Okay, but look at it in a tournament setting, though. It's like when it slows the game down and you're on a time restriction to play, right? So, I mean,
But it'd be
Now
no
are
different
we-
than in in certain games where it slows the game down a little bit.
a lot.
But that's no different than someone playing mono blue control in Magic or
but
Premier
this isn't-
control
this
and
isn't Magic.
just slowing down
Oh,
your life to a
man.
grind. It's the same. Would it be a similar feel? Yes and no, but there's nothing wrong with taking control of the tempo of the game for even a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we didn't see dense fog. Like I didn't face dense fog at this year or last. Well, I should say last year's championship, or anybody using it or heard of anybody actually using it. But I mean, when discovered that how slow the game goes once dense fog's in play, right? So I mean, to change all the summons into action speed, movement would be so slowed down if you want to attack.
Now, I wouldn't. So now, hear me out though. I wouldn't do it like it just stops everything out there. I would have it maybe go for a round,
Okay.
and it would be a way to capture your breath. So I think the one I had, so I call this slow gauge because I do reference a lot of Mega Man Battle Network when I do my card creation because that's where a lot of my ideas come from. Because Mega Man, and it was an action, cast, or a 10 and discard one. The idea was all abilities this round can only be played at action speed. So that was like an idea that I'm like, would this be plausible? And I'd throw it in Jail Era, and it would be like a 6 chi card. So it's higher costed, but what can you get out of that time?
Yeah.
And it's not, would it be broken? No. Would it fit the tempo somewhere of the game or ruin anything? No. But it might give you that one turn where you could, kind of like, oh my gosh, I need time to recuperate. I'm going to use this one card to recuperate.
Yeah, I think so.
Please note, that was only an idea, though.
It's just a concept. Now, would you be looking at targeting one specific summon, or would it be a global? Like
I would have
the entire arena.
I'd have a global effect.
That's a global effect. Wow.
Hits both people. You want to play it, that's fine. You want to catch your breath, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We have a question.
You have a question?
Sure, let's go.
Summon, so like, I'm assuming this is just like replying to what you guys are talking about. So a summon similar to Guardian's Day of Peace, but changing the ability speed.
So you got to remember,
If you were to put that ability onto a summon. So when the summon enters the battlefield, then that effect would go.
So that question, so the Guardian is a trigger. So once it comes to the battlefield, the ability activates.
Yes, goes on the stat.
Do you want me to, or are you asking, could we switch that to an immediate effect? Because immediate effect with that during the arena or that has to resolve. Or do you want to put that effect on a summon at an action speed per se? But then we have another issue. We go that way because if someone has the lead every round, they could try to protect that summon and just keep overly using that ability where no damage is ever dealt. But you can still do life loss if you're running Chaos or Vampiric Kiss.
Yeah, you put it on.
Just throw that out there.
But I mean, yeah, if you were to put that ability on a summon, then they're playing that like multiples, right? You're just swarming your timeline with it. So every single turn, boom, boom, you're throwing one down. Especially if you're playing somebody that's playing a swarm deck or whatnot, you're just like totally obliterating their
it'd be a little rough.
Their strategy of the game, right? So it would be very rough.
Mind you, Guardian of Peace added immediate ability or immediate speed would be very interesting.
The Day of Peace?
Yeah, Day of Peace. Yeah, it would be very interesting.
Yeah.
But back to the action and Swiss comments now. We always get off topic.
Right. So somebody had commented Thymos Axon equals TARDIS bunnies. Do you know what that means?
I know exactly what that means.
You know what that means? So you want to elaborate on that?
So whoever created the Lion Mane Rabbit is a terrible person. You should
no,
learn
you're
that now. So TARDIS bunnies is going to be Stone Protector, and it's going to be the bunny, and it's just going to go and drop the bunny on a target spot, and if that summon or champion can get out of the way, then it's going to take 3 damage. It's a fireball if you set it up.
Okay.
For use.
Yeah. So yeah, basically you got the Stone Protector with the Lion Mane on top, and then you just teleport.
Because Lion Mane uses move or place in its text.
I don't like Stone Protector as
I said,
now we're just making it worse.
There's gonna be Thymos Axon is gonna be so powerful, like it's ridiculous, right?
Horrible.
Like I've already just on the present card pool alone, right? Necro with Formosan, Necro, just pretty much anything, right? It's I don't want to give away too many of the secrets that I've discovered just yet, but yeah, there's so much powerful timelines just on our present card pool alone.
Wait, already
for Axon and Thymos, right?
But you gotta remember as well, as we open up Thymos Axon, we're going to be opening up Bellum Chaos. You're going to open
Bellum Chaos
Phage.
Yeah,
I was up different combinations that have never been around.
Would that even work?
What?
Bellum Chaos?
Yeah, it's coming in
I feel like
Origins.
that's like a really wonky combination.
It's like Faith and Chaos, basically.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's Faith and Chaos.
Like actually, because I got so excited about Axon Thymos, it was like I didn't really put too much focus on Bellum Chaos, but now looking at it in seeing some of the stuff that's on the future league, but just looking at our present card pool, right? It's going to be a threat. I think it's going to be a huge threat.
I think every affiliation will get it'll get what
new add-ons, right?
Yeah, so, new add-ons, new things, new possibilities.
I'd like to see more support to Thymos Bellum, right? So it depends on what the Origins is going to offer as far as those two affiliations adding into it. So maybe potentially giving Fong and Long
I think Thymos gets a punishment card. I call it a punishment card because that's exactly what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But it's very highly costed, but it's a punishment card. So they'll get something like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Off topic again, because we got a comment.
Like we never say that.
Listen, Sid.
What?
It's nuts.
What?
Chronos in a blitz deck.
Chronos in a blitz deck.
See
there again. We're looking at Axon Thymos again, right?
I'm going to chrono up, and then I'm going to drop all this blitz stuff, and then someone's going to turn around and say, here's my bolt shot to your face.
Right.
Here's another one, too. Like, who wins?
Right.
But remember what happens in those situations, though, too. If you go very upfront sometimes, and you put that in there, the person who gets away basically cheapest with the least amount of cards used will usually come out on top.
Yeah.
So I chrono, I drop a blitz, You're probably through most of your hand. If that person across me like, here's my bolt shot, here's my other swift, and that takes out a few of your threats already, it hits you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got some chronos on the board, but I'm still a little bit ahead on that card advantage in hand.
Yeah.
Someone had said we need champions with only one affiliation, some perks using just one affiliation, or a stronger inherent ability.
Oh yeah, we
got the champion already with one affiliation. We got Oni already. So
we got Oni already.
Oni is technically playable, but very hard to build.
Yeah.
Would I be okay with a champion with affiliation? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you actually build like a?
We battled it out on
a
previous show. Just he used Oni.
Not the greatest thing to do, but
don't recommend it. Don't recommend it.
Oh yeah,
but I think building single affiliated champions, they'd have to be so like a secondary. So powerful.
I want to do a champion with like no aura before.
You really know that they have so much fun with this game when they're building no aura decks or one affiliation decks. They're having
I guess you got your next challenge for your next show, eh? One affiliation, pick your champion.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, you can build this. Like I don't think I've fully built all one single affiliation for any champion.
I was gonna say you can do that. You would just have to kick. I came
really close. Like a lot of Idris decks, I don't run a lot of chaos. It's mostly Thymos, right? So it can be done, right? So
absolutely. So going off topic again, and that
actually, I have done it. I've done it with Idris. 50% of the timeline is Meteorite, the other is Oten, and it survived. Like it actually works.
Yeah, but it's an Oten purple.
They're both are.
Meteorite
and Oten are both chaos cards.
Oh, I thought the other one was
Meteorite
red.
really does feel like a Thymos card in that, but it's actually chaos.
It is chaos, yeah.
It does feel like a Thymos
that's why I thought it was like red.
Yeah, so there you go, Grandma brand hot dogs. There's my Meteorite deck is fully chaos. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, going off topic again, as you were saying, and then
But it's all based on the draw.
Like on!
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, let's get it back to topic though.
Okay. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Actions versus Swifts.
Oh, actions versus
Swifts.
That thing. Why don't we wrap it up? Because I think we've kind of hit each other all with a full
what did you say before the stream?
No.
We always go off topic.
We always go off topic.
Before you got here, we were standing over there.
I always go
we
off
topic.
I always go off topic.
Yeah, look at this.
It's okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Champ with super high stats.
Oh yeah, Jalarian.
Mm-hmm.
A champion that only has access to Jalarian.
That'd be rough. So Jalarian is like your.
What do they have access to? Besides, they have Zamber.
They have Zamber Dragon.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're
other...
a champion that's Jalarian only, you're like the heart of the world of Jalarian itself. Basically, at that point, are you not?
Yeah.
Like, at least with an affiliation, you can at least start doing some things, but just in J alone, it'd be a little more.
That's an affiliation.
What, Gilera?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
that's
still affiliation.
that's the white one.
Yeah,
it's
white.
still an affiliation. It's the world we're on.
That would be
It's the world.
a
Yeah, it
really,
represents the world.
That would be a
we're
really
playing.
weak deck.
It would be. Well, Zamber,
you
right?
got Zamber, you got Sidestep. There are some probably little summons you could throw in there as well. You got probably
Galarian Waters.
No. You got one of the best healing spells in Jalera. Breath of Jalara itself is probably one of the best.
Breath of Jalara, yeah.
Probably one of the best healing spells.
Yeah.
In the game at the moment.
Zamber, and yeah, that could probably be done.
You probably could do it.
You
and
probably
then
could.
go and left hook in that, or if you have
Left
energy
hook?
reduction. If you have
No.
energy reduction, you can go cross punch at that, get free.
Cross punch, yeah, one of Grandma Brand's
Isn't
favorite cards.
Oni JLR only? No, she's red.
Oni is
Thymos,
Thymos
Jalera.
and Jalarian. Yeah.
I believe Oni is from the
Jayhound.
should though, because in a lot of the original art you do have Oni, you have Malik, and you have Idris all in there. I believe she's from the should region though.
Yeah.
Sid said,
Throw some chaos in there.
Jayhound.
Jalarian
You
Hound.
have Jalarian
Jalarian
Hound,
Hound as well,
It's a
yeah.
3/3 for 9 aura to swing with.
Yeah, which was
You
I think,
have the Tarantula as well.
if
Really?
my
You have the Tarantula,
I thought that was yellow.
forward.
Yep.
The was it 4/3? 4/3?
Yep.
Yeah,
4 does 3 damage ranged attack.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have some really
Maybe I
good
was
stuff.
wrong. This wouldn't be too much of a weak deck, but you know.
And you
it's
have again
just
one of the best healing spells in the game at the moment in that affiliation.
the
Breath of Jalera is one of
No, it's. I don't think it's the best.
I think it's one of the best. Healing Fire is great, but
Healing
you,
fire.
you
Yeah,
have
I got a backup
you
healing
have
fire.
Swift Heal. for that area.
What about Angel's Embrace?
Oh, it is at Swift speed.
It is
isn't
at Swift
That's
speed.
right. It is at Swift. So yeah, I could.
You got one of the better.
Yeah.
You got probably one of the best healing spells.
Yeah, because you can prevent someone from dying.
Because remember,
Yeah.
you got to remember with a healing fire, if someone knocks out that chain, healing fire goes bye bye. It is a chain heal.
Never happens though.
Never
Never
happens, but just
Never
remember
happens.
it can happen.
It can, yeah.
So I think we've exhausted the topic of Swift versus action, but as you usually say on the what is it on one side of the coin, it's like, yeah, you have your opinions. Bring your opinions out. Let us know what you think in that. What's better, Swift versus action? Would you play action if I gave it to you cheaper, or
Yeah.
better abilities on them, or made them flashy somehow?
Here's a quick question for you. Have you had a chance to check out any of the deck techs for the competition right now? There's a competition on, right?
There's a
Don't tell
competition
them
on.
anything.
Right now, yeah.
I work a 40-hour work week at work in that. I spend about 9 or 10 hours in my office, and then when I switch over to my home computer, which is in the same spot, I'm usually very drained at that point.
Yeah.
So
Have you had a chance to check
I've
any of
not
them?
had a chance to
Okay,
check.
I had the opportunity to watch one this morning. Was put out by the Scheme Skeleton.
All right.
Actually, really decent. It was the first one I saw. I think we're on the wave 2 of this challenge. I think, or whatever it is.
I think it's wave 2 we're on.
Yeah. So
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think I'm right on this one because he had stated at the beginning of his video that they weren't allowed to use the same champion for this round. So you had to pick a new champion. But anyway, his timeline was really, really decent. I liked how he explained everything in his video, why he was putting it in and whatnot. And he asked for suggestions based around Kendra. So which we don't really see a lot of Kendra decks out there.
We do not.
We do not. However, analyzing what he had put into this timeline, I thought it was really, really well done. Gave him a couple of suggestions on how to tweak it a little bit if he was to play it. He was running, I think, 5 chain lightnings in it, which we all know, not the greatest card, because once that chain's broken again, which is when you had mentioned healing fire being broken.
Healing fire.
Yeah.
Chain lightning, you're hoping that your opponent doesn't have evasion and you're hitting them for 4 and you're taking 2, or you have something
Yeah.
you can not ping the damage off of.
I don't think Chain Lightning will ever see meta play in any sense. However, playing for fun, just building regular timeline.
In a draft, it's still an okay card to
Yeah.
grab if you need it. It is
If you need
it is 5 chi, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like for a 5 chi card, you can pull out 4
if you
damage.
can pull it off, right?
You can pull out a chunk of damage on your
You
opponent.
catch him off guard with it, right? It could work. So, I mean, he was also running like Thunderstrucks.
Thunderstruck's my favorite in draft, actually.
He gave some glorification to my Necro combo with Kabus, and he was using the Sphinx
All right.
with it. So yeah, it was a decent timeline. You had Malfeasance in there, Puppet Control.
Puppet Control is one of my favorites because I run it in Malik.
I know.
I don't have options
Yeah.
to take on Angel, so Puppet Control usually is that option.
Yeah, I hate that card. I hate when it's used against me. I should say I don't play it a whole heck of a lot, but
So it's good to see Kendra's getting some love, though.
yeah, it
because
was. It was
Kendra-
really nice. It was a decent time.
I think Kendra's probably one of the least used champions out there. Kendra's really good if you have lead and you get across the board and hit your opponent within that first round.
Mhm.
If you have some diabolic roars behind her as well, you have the potential to rip apart a hand very quickly.
Yeah.
That would be where I would see her being best used if she can get the lead and get over onto the other side of the board almost immediately.
Yeah.
Then she'd be really, really good.
But yeah, so if you have a chance, look up Scheme and Skeleton on YouTube. Check out his timeline that he had built. It was pretty impressive. So highly recommended. Another thing that surprised me too this past week, I had 2 new players.
All right.
Get interested in Genesis. Billy's friend Jeff had come to me and he had asked about my thoughts on a rain deck. So my initial question to him right off the bat was,
Did you see the OTK?
Yeah. No. I mean, he's fresh, brand new. Right?
All right.
Not like Billy's took the time to teach him how to play the game and whatnot. So I had asked him. My first question was summoner, spellcaster, or fighter, right? So he wanted to go the summoner side, which I was kind of shocked. So because we don't normally see rain as
I have pondered the idea before.
which
90 aura is a lot of aura when spent correctly.
it when spent correctly. Yeah. So
That's the one thing about it, right? Is sometimes you just get too caught up in the game, you don't actually realize how much aura you're really spending. So
It comes down to value. So when I play Malik at 80 aura,
Mhm.
if I run, yes, blitz creatures because I have to.
gosh, no.
I love my Anja Tiger.
You love the
I love-
Anja Tiger.
Anja
Yeah, I know
Tiger is
you
a
do.
great, but in reality though, when one of those hit the board, it needs to start. Like I'm not going to spam them because if I spam them, they get AOD. I'm in trouble. If I get one out and it can do some work for me, it starts paying for itself very quickly. If I can take a summon, take 2 summons, or get 2 or 3 shots in,
Mhm.
that's instant value
Yeah.
back to
Right.
Malik.
But that's the
it's
thing is you
making sure I get
gotta
that
you gotta
value.
know the right way to
You need to know how to get
spend
that
it.
value
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
that's the thing.
And it's the same with Anja as well. Like Anja is great as you know what, you watch the board develop with Malik, you can now sneak out your Anja and send it where you need it to, whether it's taking it one of their summons they played or going after the champion itself
Mhm.
in a position where you know that it's safe to go do so from.
So I think taking a look at Rain and trying to build her as a summoner, using her ability.
Your teleporting ability?
Yeah, what's it called?
I
never play Rain.
Billy, you're supposed to be on this. Rain's ability. Something shadows or something like that from the shadows.
Living Shadows.
Living Shadows.
Living
I think it's
Shadows.
Living
There it
Shadows.
is. Thank you. As soon as you said Shadows, yeah. No, but I mean, it could work, right? Because it doesn't exert her
Nope.
to use it. So I mean, like take Epiphany right out of the equation, even though Epiphany probably would, and we all know how much we hate Epiphany. Everybody hates Epiphany.
Not my card. I'm free from this.
Okay, we're not gonna. That's gonna take us way off, even further
Yeah.
off topic. Anyway, so using that Living Shadows, right, to jump in there, drop some summons, and then jump out of there again, right? So as long as you got the,
What's one thing people forget about Living Shadows, though?
it has to be outside of somebody's awareness.
There's one other thing people forget. It is an action speed. You said it doesn't exert you.
Right.
You can use Living Shadows, and you could still swift attack with her before she jumps out of where she's gone to.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think a lot of people do
The
forget
the three dark damage too, which Dark Brand as well, right?
that. Well, it's not even that. It's just like you're there, you need to get out, you Living Shadows before that ability resolves, you throw your attack in there, and she can still swing with her attack.
Yeah.
And get out of the dodge very quickly when need be.
yeah. So, but I mean, it's a way to keep her safe. and still drop your big summons or
Yeah.
your summons around your opponent, and not have to worry about her being in any kind of danger, right? So again, it's like the use of Necro, Kabus, and any 5 or less, right? To make her effective, right? So
I'm trying to think what else would be really, really good with her.
So initially, to keep the deck relatively on the cheaper end, looking at Martial Sentry is good because it has that double forward ranged attack, right? So you always want to make sure you have some kind of ranged attack in a timeline if you have to face anything that's got aerial. What else did we look at putting in? One thing I did forget, and I had mentioned it to him when he came back, was Vampiric Kiss to maintain health right on Rain. But yeah, so and then there was another guy that came in asking for the same thing, so it kind of surprised me, right? So I recently sat down and I've been taking a closer look, and we did bring this up, did we not, in a previous show about the difference between what are you looking at?
I'm looking at Yamaraja.
Yamaraja.
If Yamaraja had a quick beckon with Rain, I could see that.
Yeah.
It is costly, but might be it'd be one of those things I would splash with her. I'd have 1 or 2 in the deck. They would not be my end game, but I would make them my end game if need be.
Yeah.
If they came up. Because Yamaraja is another card like Rain that doesn't get a lot of love. But a Yamaraja left out of check can become
very dangerous. Yeah,
yes.
I think that it's slow still, though. It's still
Casmodon would be good with her as well. It has the Resurrect Beckon.
The
Resurrect.
the fish,
Fish.
the big giant fish.
There's one of those action speed cards that we're just talking about it.
Again. Yeah, back to the
originate.
We're back on topic.
But it is a 4/4. It is action speed. It does have that.
And that thing can just become a beast. Like,
yeah, it's only 2 health lost and it gains 2 health, but it is 10 aura. And that might be something that Rain would really, really like. Let me throw a Kabus out there. Let me deke you out with a Kabus. And then here comes Chiasmodon and that for 10 aura. And yum, 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 yum. I get really big and I'm always hitting you for 2 and I'm getting there.
Yeah, those things are brutal.
They are absolutely brutal.
They are brutal. But yeah, no, it goes back to a previous show that we had talked about. It's like looking at the each champion and what they were meant for, right? More or less, or what they're perceived as being. So like you got what were some of the examples? Drawing a blank.
Nubia, spellcaster.
Well, Raha is the fighter, right?
The fighter.
Exactly, right? So like, but they don't have to be, right? No. So it's giving players a challenge to
fight the way you want to fight the battle.
Exactly, right? So it's like taking a champion and even though it's meant to be like Raha as a fighter, you can change her and make her a spellcaster or make her a summoner, right? Can it be done? And there are that more or less solidified it, right? By looking at Rain, turning her into a summoner more so than a fighter, what she's normally looked at, right? So it's
in Decipher's Mega Man TCG, they run color. I always go back to Mega Man. I'm sorry, but they do run colors for
and Blastoise yesterday during our battle.
But no, hear me out.
Forget a Blastoise.
Each character has.
And then I had a visit from Chandra. Oh no, she's right
she's
there.
Over there. But hear me out. Each character has their emblems within certain colors.
Right. I
learned very quickly in that game, if you start taking them outside sometimes what their told colors are, you get into some really interesting combinations of abilities that you can go off on.
Right.
And it's very similar to Genesis. Yes, Raha has 1 energy reduction. Yeah, she has a great awareness. Yes, she can get in there and take shots. But if you can get her, as a spellcaster or getting those summons in there to do her work for her,
yeah,
her ability just becomes that much better.
What's that?
You have comments.
You have comments?
Yeah, we've got a long list.
Oh.
Okay, so someone had said Swifter, faster than Swift, coming in the future. I just thought that was funny. That was funny.
So is this like first strike, regular strike, and then last strike?
Maybe.
Or like, what is it, super haste?
Same person said, curse you guys, I'm going to build a deck. Have a new idea, LOL. That's when we were talking about Rain.
Okay. Living Shadows.
Yeah. too far.
Check your phone.
No. Yeah, that was mom. She
Why is your
messaged me.
mom?
Because she texted me asking if the cats are fed.
Oh,
And I didn't answer.
Well,
Cats and dogs living together. Yeah.
if the cats aren't fed, well, that's a problem.
JC, this one's for you.
Sure.
Any plans for a summon who drains aura instead of HP?
I asked you that. I had asked you that. Are
And
we
did he
going to
give you
see
an
this?
answer?
No.
So
well,
I'm
I
not
mean,
on
it's-
I'm not on the summon route, but I do.
I-
if you are in Future League right now, I don't know if this person's in Future League or not, but there is 2 abilities I do have out there right now. They don't drain. I would look at them more as like a fatigue.
Well,
But
fatigue
fatigue
that
is
we
on
see that's
damage.
coming. It
Fatigue's on damage. This would be on responding to the that ability on the stat. So it's something that I've been looking at. Something that I've talked with. I know Alex and I have talked about it a little bit. I know Shahan and I were actually having a huge conversation on it probably about a week or 2 ago. And again, it's not draining, but it is basically saying to the opponent, congratulations, I have this ability on the stack. Would you like to play Aura to get the next ability in, or would you like to pay X amount of energy to get the next ability
which
in?
is what fatigue attacks your energy. We already
Fatigue
see.
on damage.
You got like Gale, you got Torrents, right? That
But this would cause it on the stack. So it says, congratulations, I'm on this card. I've hit the board. My ability's on the board. Do you want to pay energy to have the next ability?
no, don't even
played?
ask the question. I want to see a summon that when it hits, rather than doing light damage, it does aura damage.
It's a little harder to do. Can it be done? Yes. Would I like to see it now? No, because aura, you have a finite amount of aura. I would rather force an opponent to say, would you like to pay the aura or pay something else instead? Rather than saying, you lose aura.
That goes right into this. Or even better, a spell that is a swift in response to any spell or beckon, forcing caster to pay double aura or it fizzles. So angel costs 50 aura, etc.
Whoa,
Wow, that'd be gross.
that'd be busted.
That'd be a
I
little,
think that'd be a
powerful.
little broken. Yeah,
Be a little powerful.
to double. Yeah.
What could I add attacks on something? Absolutely. Anything can be done in the means. It's just that we got to remember we deal with a finite amount of resource, so we don't get our resources back in this game unless you're playing like Aura Surge or Elemental Dominance for you.
I know.
But at that point, with
so
it being
dead
a
on
finite,
Sunday.
yeah, you're so dead on Sunday.
I'm so
With
dead
having
on
a finite
Sunday.
amount of resource, it's hard to say, yeah, just direct drain.
Bring it
or
on,
direct
Grandma
taking.
Brand.
I want Grandma Brand hot dogs.
Yeah,
I feel
Grandma
left right
Brand.
on this.
Is that an actual brand hot dog?
I have no
That's,
clue.
We're gonna Google this.
Yeah.
On that note, anyone test with chicken yet?
Oh, chicken.
Oh, that thing.
I actually like chicken,
Chicken.
on the Future League. Yeah,
I
It's
think
a
that's
decent
part. I think
pick.
that's part of one of my ideas, actually.
Yeah,
I think I threw the first idea, and now it's
Yeah,
like, let's
no,
add
you're
this
not
other
thinking
ability
of
onto it. It's going to make it even better. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
huzzah!
I actually really like chicken. It's well, if it stays the way that it was originally put on there.
Mind you, I might make him a rooster instead. He might fit the role of it better.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we're already attacking energy in that perspective, so it's like attacking aura would
But
be.
and the thing with energy, though, is you have reduction.
There is a reduction.
There, yeah. So a lot of times when they say when you're fatigued, it's like you must pay energy. You can still get your reductions off of that. So
Okay.
that makes it a little safer. Aura doesn't have that same protection.
Depends on how high fatigue goes.
Aura
right?
doesn't have that amount of protection.
Yeah.
So again, when it comes to aura, I'd rather have the opponent choose like, would you like to pay a little bit of aura because for whatever reason, or would you like to do something else, A or B, the blue pill or the red?
Or how
pill?
about aura reduction? Would it be,
That might just stop throwing me into a can of worms. Like, hey, let's just throw this out of it. No,
Aura reduction, right?
Aura's fine, energy's fine. Let's
Well, we have energy reduction. Why can't we see aura reduction?
just stop it. Stop it now. Stop the madness.
Well, you can put it in as a skill, right?
Honestly,
it's like
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
As a-
Well, you can regain aura, right? We've already
But to
seen it. We have
regain
aura
aura-
surge.
Aura Surge is 5 energy. Aura Surge, when you translate it over into your aura, works out to about 12 to 14 energy, or 12 to 14 aura for that 10 aura back. So that's the cost of it. The only difference with Aura Surge, though, is it is affected by energy reduction.
Yes.
So if you have a 2 or 3 energy reduction, yeah, it's a great card at that point. If you don't, it gets quite costly.
Yeah.
Elemental Dominance takes a lot of work to get going. I've been there. I've done that. I got the shirt somewhere. It burns.
Good luck, Grandma.
It in a
I
one-on-one
still think
toe-to-toe
he's-
fighter versus fighter, or spellcaster versus spellcaster, you can get up to some aura back.
Yeah.
After so long. Welcome to Genesis.
Yeah, right?
So if
Which
we've
makes us
exhausted that topic, we had another topic for tonight, didn't we?
No.
No. I thought I gave you 2 topics.
What was the other one?
I don't know.
No, that was the only one.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's-
gosh.
It's only the Swift and action things, as in we've gone off on 50 different branches.
Weren't we going to
talking
go
about-
off on cards that were going to be, good in the future, or predictions for the future?
All right, that's where we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I know we had discussed it on the phone earlier this week. It could be for a future topic. I didn't give it too much thought.
I give
I
you
mean-
great topics. It's like,
I mean,
Hydro Blast.
so what? Basically, it
Isn't that
was
banned?
talking about.
we'll leave it for another week.
Yeah, we could save it for another week, right? But it was along the lines of what
What cards now that are not used will see
could.
play-
Oh yeah,
could
that's
see
right,
play in the
right. So
future.
present card pool becoming
What
more
cards-
relevant,
yes.
right, in the future. It's a harder topic to tackle. Do not at the moment. Okay, yeah.
Hey, read these, all right?
Okay, we got some
Okay.
comments.
Well,
from
read the
Mack-Attack.
first one. Read the first one. Do not read the second one without me. All right?
Okay. So Grandma Brand is telling us I'm just gonna slot in some Hydro Blast to help my elemental decks out.
Hydro. Oh, no, you can't use Hydro Blast.
Last I checked, Hydro Blast was banned under
Banned.
the current standard rulings now
The
because
one and only banned card. Yeah, so hey, that'd be cheating.
that actually, no, you are going to play with President Banless. But great idea, though. Not going to work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did I run
Elemental.
when I was doing the Elemental?
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, you had built a ridiculously
I know I played Sid one time at Black Knight Games with it.
surprising
and
deck based around Elemental. Right?
And I know it was a one-on-one. We weren't running like summons our deck, and we had a lot of aura going on.
Yeah.
But if you can find like when it comes to elemental dominance, who'd be your best people to play? Rain. Rain has natural attribute to her attacks. Who else? Axon.
That's it.
Wait.
What are we talking about now?
You could technically go Kendra. You
Elemental
could go
dominance.
whatchamacallit.
I think he's
Sarkazio
I think he's
and
actually
everything.
helping out Hot Dogs.
I actually am helping out. So if you go
You're giving
Kendra,
him,
you gotta
ideas.
run Dark Strength. If you're running doesn't Core have natural dark attack? You could go Core in this as well.
Two champion standard rules. My 50% vote says no.
There's 2 champion standard rules.
What's 2 champion standard rules? Obviously I've been out of the format for a little while. But no, Sid, you can't run Hydro Blast. It's one of the cards that is not. It's banned. I'm sorry. I will make an official ruling on this.
Oh, Core and Coon have elemental attacks.
Yep, you
Yeah.
could run
Could run
Kun.
them on there.
And Kun would actually probably not be too bad with that extra movement ability he has. 'Cause he has Holy, right? As his natural.
I believe it's holy. Yeah.
Holy
I don't
or
know, I don't
Air is
play
one
Kun.
of the two. Billy, look it up. Billy's our lookup guy tonight.
Billy's looking at everything.
But yeah, so you got Kun there as well, who now has an attribute and can gain aura back from his own attack.
It's
Holy.
holy attack. Yeah.
So yeah, elemental
Well,
dominance.
yeah, it makes sense. He's an angel, right?
You play Holy, and you name Holy, and then every time he's hitting something with his own attack, he's getting that aura back.
Or back. Yeah.
So it is. Sid has options on this. As for you, well, you still need a hug at the end of that one.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I have my predictions in my.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, as I said, the timeline isn't 100% built yet. I already know general idea of what's going in
price check?
and how I'm.
Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry. Big prices.
Commander Legends, they're 8. Sets are 6. Drafts are 5. Here, talk to Mackenzie for a second. Get over here. I'll do this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can read Shockwave's comment.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at you, shit. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, so yeah, now we're gonna read this comment that I didn't want to, read without me. Now I get to read it without Dad. Sorry, Dad. Okay, I thought this was kind of cool. So, what about a champion ability to allow you to convert energy into aura, and then you can mill a card to gain 5 aura?
That was his example.
So
Yeah.
to mill a
Oh,
card,
was it?
Yeah. It's just
Oh, I.e. Oh, I don't know what.
so if you let's say it was one card, it doesn't, I think, translate properly because that one card's probably worth less than like that 5 aura.
So would you say like mill 2?
Then we get into the stickiness of energy reductions and whatnot. There's this climate around where people are like, I want to get aura back. I want to get aura back. I want to get aura back. And that's fine. There are probably going to be cards spaced throughout the game where you get a little bit of aura back. The object of the game, though, is that you do have that finite amount of resources up front, and to learn how to use them, get the most out of it, get the most out of the economy you have, and spreading it out through the game you're playing. Because I've seen that a lot, I've heard that a lot, where people are like, yeah, I have this idea for a card. It gives me aura back, but it's like one of the main pillars of Genesis is start strong, struggle later. And when we start doing that, it starts to hurt the struggle later portion of the game. It's one of the main reasons why we talk about Epiphany so much. And so, like, even though we don't see it a lot, it technically does go against the grain of struggling later in the game, because you can still build up your hand size again to have attacks and that to use and launch against your opponent.
What about an idea of exchanging life, which is kind of like his for every 2 life, get 5 aura back.
But it comes back to that substantial that I want you to start strong, I want you to struggle later. So life is still a resource, but you're not struggling as much with your other resources. They have to be kept in balance there.
Start strong, get tsunamis later.
Yeah.
Or get tsunami'd later.
Yeah. That's definitely not a pillar of Genesis.
Oh my god.
Start strong, struggle later. Always have options. Basically, the game favors the defender. Like, those are some of the 3 core pillars of Genesis. And when a card starts to go against those grains, we start questioning them. So, aura gain does go against the grain of struggling later. Mm-hmm. And the moment we see aura gain, it's like, that's great, but if it's too much, we don't want it. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Actually, I got something to add on to Billy's thing. When you said converting like life, what did you like converting it into?
So you would pay
an aura?
You pay your life to get aura back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you pay like 2 life to get back 5 aura, is what I was saying.
Maybe like 5 to get back 10.
I mean, either way, like, it's conversion rate that I was thinking of. It didn't have to be the exact number I was referring
I don't mind for paying life on cards, but if it's an ability that you had access to all the time, the other issue is that I would like to see desperation be more of a thing in this game, and you're just feeding into desperation at that point. It's like, now I have.
It could be a trigger ability upon entry, on like a summon, let's say.
I'm still not for anything with aura gain. I'm not big on it. I know there's a card planned for the next set, but it's very situational on how you get it off and going and whatnot, and it doesn't give you a lot. So again, if it's aura gaining, if it's net gain of draw cards, stuff like that, go against the grain of that start strong, struggle later mandate.
Are you gonna read him Sid's next comment?
All right, Mama Brand hot dogs are Mama Brand hot dogs are Pepper Ridge Farm remembers.
Take a quick nap, gain stun for the second round, and regain. Gain stun for the round and regain energy. Put cards from your memories back into your timeline.
Nope.
Take a quick nap mid-game. Oh, that would take forever.
We're playing D&D now. Good to go.
I'm back. Everybody's trying to pitch their gain aura and get stuff back from their deck card. Or game.
Oh,
I
ideas?
personally don't care.
Yes,
I was just thinking of a more fair exchange
Average
rate
nap
than
is about
energy.
15 minutes.
No, it's not. average nap for me is like 2 hours.
2 hours.
And that's why I don't have naps myself.
or,
But
or
converting
just go into a
oh,
coma.
yeah, there.
Yeah.
But converting energy is still depleting, a resource getting weaker.
But the thing
That is true.
with energy though is energy is affected by reduction. So if your champion does have reduction and you had to pay energy to convert it, you can get to a point where some champions with abilities could make that conversion free. So that's something we got to think about as well.
Well, energy reduction, 100%, because you look at Fong, who has the 2 energy reduction. There's a lot of stuff
if
you
you were
could
to-
play for free.
Yeah,
I built timelines based around.
If you gave her the ability to, convert that over into aura for free too, then she becomes absolutely powerful.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's where there's a lot of other nuances in that. And again, I know people want to get aura back, but I look at the economy of the game. We've given you your resources up front. You don't have to build into them. So you can play whatever you want at the start of the game.
But to replenish, though, is
to replenish, though, like if that's not the game is, you're coming into a fight in your best
you're
condition.
supposed to get weaker, right?
You are supposed to get weaker, unless you're Goku and go like for saying like 4,000 or whatever in that or whatever it is. But that's a different story. But you are supposed to start strong. You're supposed to struggle later. You're coming to the arena. You're bringing your best game, and as I said, as you're casting spells, it'd be like when you're in one of those final encounters to a chapter in like D&D, you're getting to that last segment of your session that, like, yeah, those spells, if you're not taking a rest afterwards, those spells are gone.
Yeah.
It's a very similar thing. Like, through that part of a campaign or part of the section you're doing for your, think of it in a D&D perspective. Like, yeah, once you use your spell charges at times, you don't have them until you take that, like, short or extended rest.
Yeah.
Genesis is very similar. Like, you're going into that arena, you're in that arena fight, you don't really have time to recover your aura. You're toe-to-toe with the next thing trying to take you out.
Someone replied to, do you know who that is?
Who?
I can't pronounce that name.
Oh, Shockwave? I know he is, yeah.
Okay. In response, I do it as a Swift, and we both sleep.
Oh.
You're referring to the nap thing.
Yeah.
They're all talking about
Yeah.
sleeping and napping. So anyway, but yeah, no, I mean, we can get more in depth on a future show about that, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of regaining that much resource. However, reduction is definitely
look at
favorable.
Like we had one comment where about shuffling stuff back in from your memories in your timeline. Look what Necrolich has kind of done with just pulling 1 5 chi card or less back from your memories.
All right, would you stop picking on my Necro? Like, no, sorry.
Yo.
You pick on my. Well, I feel you pick on my bunny, but that's
I love the Lion Mane.
It's a meme.
It is a meme. It is
I
a meme.
love the Lion Mane. I love that card.
Who did that?
There's not too many.
After that was Alex who put
There's
it.
not too many Thymos decks or
Alex did
timelines. What?
Alex, if you're watching this, I'll look you dead in the eyes and I'm gonna say, we got problems. Spell meme like that.
Spelling, whatever. Anyway, there's not too many Thymos timelines that I built that don't run
The bunny.
the bunny. Yeah.
I don't even think I read the bunny in my own
It's so
timeline.
Yeah, he is really, really good. I remember when that first came out, Raise, it's like, wow. Yeah, so many in a timeline. Like,
And I know
cheap, like, yeah, it's at action speed, but it's cheap. 3 damage, right? Like, yeah.
at a 4 chi summon as well.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's
I know.
only
Shahan
4.
was asking about the questions about it today, like, "Hey, why is it like this and whatnot?" And I ended up giving the whole explanation of like how the card was created and that. It's like, yeah, this was supposed to be a desperation ability. I think you might recall some of the earlier renditions of the bunny. I believe it was a desperation ability because desperations were going to be on summons at 1 HP and it got scrapped at the end.
Yeah.
Because you had desperation at 2 different levels for champions and summons, so it ends up getting confusing there. And to get that, and Lightless was actually supposed to be desperation as well.
Oh yeah.
I believe his attack was supposed to switch from 5 to 6 when he was at desperation.
Oh, okay. Thank God I didn't. Yeah.
There's some insight to card design and how things change through the process.
But I mean, even after Lion Mane hops, right, it still becomes an effective blocker on top of it too, right? That can be annoying. It gets in the way, right? Unless
Or you temporal relocation it, or it runs across someone's, I don't know.
shoulder throw on top of it.
Or it runs
Or no,
across
not shoulder throw. Sorry, wrist throw. Wrist toss.
wrist throw.
Wrist throw. Thank you.
Or it
Combine all
runs
the parts
across someone's alterations that they love so much it starts damaging them.
together. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so that's our thoughts on.
God bless Monty Python.
So, yeah, we've been going for just over an hour. Thanks.
Oh, it's an hour and a half.
See, what we should have done tonight is played a game.
Sunday.
We should have played a game.
We should have played a game.
Yeah,
No, we haven't battled in so long.
we have, I brought my stuff. That's a scary thing.
No, we can still battle. Just not on stream.
Oh,
We're not set up for it tonight.
oh.
No, we're really not.
We're
I
really
turned
not.
to Billy. I was like, I think they're trying to
Yeah,
kill
she'll
me.
get scared. We need to call in for that one.
Just put that
We'll
up.
call
on
it a
my-
We could, yeah.
Listen, I don't know how to swap between two cameras and all that. I am.
We
not
don't need
at
to
that
swap. We just
level.
need the overhead. And
You're just gonna like poke your faces in after you're done.
nah,
All right, it's the end.
I'm not even that tacky.
Talk like that for 2 hours. Be like, okay.
Oh, we could end this one and just stream another one.
We'll see.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
getting kind of
Mom.
late anyway. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah. So we're gonna wrap up the show. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. Thanks for all your comments and questions. Any final thoughts?
If you want to reach out to me, I am at John Genesis Battle of Champions on the Future League event server and what I don't need.
All the discords.
I'm not on the fan Discord in that. I am on, as I think, events. There's something else when I don't know what the other one is.
The influencer,
Influencers. And
content
thank you, and the Future League one. So if you want to reach out, if you have a question, I'm always glad to answer questions on stuff like that.
Yeah, you can always reach out to me as well. I'm on the Discords, all the different channels for Genesis as well. Steveo, something. Number,
Are you just like
number?
you're just like Steve? Just look for like a
Steve-O, just look
championship
for
belt or
Steve-O,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, no, it's the thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't do the John Cena pose or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you can reach out to me on Discord, or you can contact me by email, stevethegamer@hotmail.com or hotgaminginc@hotmail.com as well.
I guess I'm here too. I mean, I got my YouTube channel. Guess go subscribe to that. I literally have one video on there. I plan to come out with more content though. We're working on that. Then got Instagram.
You know what would be really cool is if you got in contact with Somniac One and you work together with her. If you start producing music and you make a jingle or a theme song for our show,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
That'd be really, really cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, a lot of future content coming out on my channel. And then, well, I got Instagram. Yeah, I got that too.
As well.
Yeah, just type in Mack-Attack, you'll find it. Profile picture should be a bug. My little drawing of a bug.
Super excited. Hopefully, come January 31st, I'll start to be able to have organized play back in the store again for Genesis. We run it every Thursday night for our casual play while we live stream, as well as Saturday we get into our competitive play. Check out the GenesisBattleOfChampions.com website in the Geo as well to get involved with that as well.
So what's the website?
www.genesisbattleofchampions.com. Is it not?
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I just left the www.
Yeah,
this time.
it usually says it on top.
Usually,
Make
yeah,
sure
usually
to
I'll
reach
screw
out
it
to Genesis on Facebook as well. They are up there
Yeah.
on Facebook as well. I'm
100%.
sure there's an Instagram. I don't even know if he has
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah,
Has he Instagram?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm not totally screwing this up.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
Instagram
so
too.
much content out there too. Check out the other content creators. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel as well. We really appreciate it.
And where are we located again?
We are at
131
Erie
Erie
Ave.
Ave, Brantford, Ontario, and Canada.
On Earth.
On Earth. In some kind of universe.
the Milky Way.
Are we in the Milky Way?
Are we like Earth like 3571 or something like that? Or what's
Maybe.
I
I
what
don't
version
know,
of-
but that's where we are. We're here.
Yeah, we're here in Brantford.
JC and I turned into comedians over here.
Check out Creative Player's profile on the Geo site. Get involved in the organized play. You get a chance to get organized play promos, etc., which is the only way to get them. So if your LGS is not involved, get them involved. If you want to have them reach out to me, have them check out the Genesis website as well. Awesome game. I love it. Thank you.
Can I just do my usual sign off while I'm at it?
No, not yet. Hang
Ah.
on, we got a comment here.
Sure, let's do the
Grandma
call.
Brand hot dogs coming in once again. Genesis coming to Mars near you soon.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta make it to the
Gotta play
moon.
on Mars.
We gotta send it with Chris Hadfield. That's why he decides to take a visit to outer space, and he can take it to the moon.
That would be quite the accomplishment to be the first Genesis player to battle on the moon.
That'd be something else. That'd be
We'll have to talk to
awesome.
William Shatner about that. We can hitch a ride with him.
Chris Hadfield hit up Elon Musk, a few other people, say, "Hey, we want to do this. Be a great promotion." Sell it to
We're gonna
them.
have to get a backdrop that looks like we're on the moon.
We can get a green screen, man. Like,
Green screen.
we can make it
Yeah,
happen.
we can make it happen.
Well, sometimes, you know,
Anything's
green screen's
possible.
just kind of
Anything's possible.
And see, anything's possible in the
Someone
World
asked
Wrestling
what
Federation,
time
McMahon.
on Saturdays.
What time on Saturdays? We usually start around 12:30 for our organized play, but don't come by until after January 31st, which is when the restrictions lift and we can actually start having players come back in. So,
Fake the moon landing.
100%. Any questions, comments, concerns? You can always reach out to us. We're always willing and very, very happy to talk about Genesis all the time. So,
I'm also
Love
just
the game.
constantly on my phone, so I'll get any messages.
all right, exactly. All right. So, on behalf of One Side of the Coin, I'm Steveo the Gamer, and this is.
Mack-Attack.
And thank you very much to our great friend JC for coming out.
And also just
You can
remember,
do your sign off. Go ahead.
I will see you in the arena.
Woo!
Bye.
And we're still here for a minute. Yeah.
Do 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 do.